again set to be furloughed due to this government shutdown. What do you say to those workers who may soon not see a paycheck?
Well, first of all, I take a step back and say, on day one, the president promised to lower costs. We're 254 days in, and not only are energy costs up, food costs are up, but we are on the precipice of healthcare costs going up. So those workers are already feeling the pain. And then, I was former Secretary of Labor in Delaware. Doesn't take a Secretary of Labor to know that when you fire and furlough people, they're going to be hurting and our unemployment numbers are going to go up. And so in this moment, it was important for Democrats to say, this is not business as usual. We are on the brink of a healthcare crisis. And so that's what we're standing up for. And we are standing up for those American workers.
Listen to what we heard from the vice president this morning, blaming Democrats for the shutdown.
Unfortunately, it was one faction of one branch of government, the far left faction of the Senate Democrats, who decided to shut down the people's government. There are critical services that the Democrats have taken hostage because they have a policy disagreement that they are open to work with us on, but they shouldn't be shutting the government down because of that policy disagreement.
What is your response to that?
Well, first of all, this isn't simply about a policy disagreement. Literally, 4th of July, this administration and the Republicans in Congress took away health care from folks. And so what we're saying is restore that health care before this becomes a catastrophe and people are hurt even more. I think it's also important to remember that the White House, the Senate, and the House are controlled by Republicans. And so I was a House member. When I was in the House, we negotiated. And what we're seeing here is not a level of seriousness. If you're serious, you don't go home. You would be here. And that's what we say to the House of Representatives. If you're serious, you would be listening to the people and you would not be canceling out their health care. You would not be doing memes. This is a serious moment, and what we need is for them to come to the table seriously on behalf of the American people.
But is there a plan B in case that doesn't happen? Should this shutdown drag out and Republicans dig in, Democrats can't get what you're asking for when it comes to those health care subsidies and the fight for health care funding?
Here's the reality. They have the power. They're in charge. They need to come to the table. And what I'm seeing and feeling at home in Delaware, I have a business person, Jan, who actually suffered from cancer. When I was in the House, she told me if it were not for the Affordable Care Act, she would not have been able to have health care. She is concerned. She represents the half of small business owners are on the Affordable Care Act. When you look at farmers and ranchers in this country, 1/4 on the Affordable Care Act. When you look at moms and babies and the number of births that are given because of our health care. We're not saying we got a perfect health care system, but what we are saying is that we don't want to break it even more, and we don't want people's prices to skyrocket. And they have the power, they have the ability. And I don't know if people are telling the president, maybe he's not hearing what this really means to people, but people are already hurting. And we have a chance, an opportunity, if they just come back to work and get to the negotiating table. That's it.
Senator, a new NPR PBS Marist poll finds that just 25% of U.S. adults approve of the job Democrats in Congress are doing. Republicans actually get higher marks at 35% approval. What is your party getting wrong, and how do you fix it?
I guess I'm not the kind of person that frets over something like that right now. Right now, I'm fretting over people's health care. And I can tell you, my constituents, I just had a resource fair in my state where hundreds of people showed up to find out how they could get help on things. People weren't walking up to me saying they read a poll. What they are saying is they're reading their bills and they are hurting. And so that's why we got to continue to stay on this. We've got to continue to make sure that people know we're fighting for them. And that's why I'm here. That is the only reason why I'm here, is to fight for my constituents in Delaware and to fight for the American people. When people know that, they'll know we care about them.
Well, we certainly appreciate you being here with us today to share your message and perspective. Thank you so much, Lisa Blunt Rochester.